Rahul here for Punch Out Boxing. I am delighted to be speaking to a young man that I've waited 30 years for, Hamza Uddin. If people are wondering why, it's because ever since I've followed this beautiful sport, I'm wondering when's there going to be a British Bengali superstar. And yeah, that's the hopes that are on your shoulders, Hamza. I hope I'm not putting too much pressure on you.
I'm used to the pressure since I was about 11, 12 years old, but it's something that I take into my stride. And if anything, it's a good thing, man, because it pushes me that extra little bit to train harder and to be the best possible version I can be. And well, it's working.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, pioneers. You guys are always a special case. So yeah. So obviously, I saw the interview you've had with our colleague Sherry. Some great stuff. Great insights there. I just want to touch on some of those things, but for our viewers who might not have seen it, if we could just start with your boxing background. I believe your father was a kickboxer. Uh, so yeah, how did you get
Well,
into
going
boxing?
going back, yeah, quite a long time. And my father was a kickboxer back in his days. He kickboxed for quite a few years since he was very young. Done boxing. He had boxing bouts as well. He done all them type sports, taekwondo, all of that. God knows it. It'll tell you if you ever see him. He's done all of that. He was the only one of probably brown skin that was into all of that kind of stuff. And obviously, he had to stop due to a back injury. Unfortunately for me, because if it wasn't for that, then he'd probably be still doing it now. But yeah, I just followed on from his example and just seeing his gloves lying about, and the bags up in the garage. Just I don't know. It just felt natural. I just had a liking for the sport. Dad, I used to have the boxing on, so I'd be 4 or 5, so watching boxing. I begged him to go to the gym for 2 or 3 odd years until he finally let me, and that's when the talent was seen by people for the first time.
Fantastic. So thanks to Uddin Senior for for leading the way. So from the start, did he have in mind, or did you have in mind that you want to take up conventional boxing rather than the kickboxing?
To be honest, I didn't know to I didn't know what the kicks were. I was quite a stiff little kid anyway. I could hardly touch my toes, so I don't think kickboxing was ever an option for me. I did like the aspect of punching and boxing. I mean, I used to get into quite a few fights in school, and I couldn't kick, but I could punch though. So that was always the way forward for me. Dad, he taught me a couple of kicks, couple of roundhouse kicks and whatnot, but I think from early that probably wasn't for me, and the boxing suited me a little bit better.
Okay, so you went to, obviously we know about your very stellar amateur career. What was the amateur boxing club that you started at?
I started with a club called Plek ABC, which is 2 miles away from me. I have no idea what they're doing now, but they're a really old club. Like all the old generation from Walsall have probably popped in there once or twice. It's a good gym, but it wasn't a very nice gym, but it's proper like old school spit and sawdust kind of gym.
Mhm.
And yeah, I learned quite a lot of what I know now from there. Experienced a lot of stuff that I still take with me now. And I moved a couple of gyms here and there. In the end, I stuck with Fearless, which my father and friend of his opened up, and it's still going strong, helping the younger community and the next stars of amateur boxing coming through.
Mhm. And just for those of us who don't know yet, can you just list some of your stellar amateur achievements?
I'll be here for a while, but I'll try. I was on the Team GB Olympic squad for over a year. I'm an 8-time national champion, 3-time GB champion, 7-time international gold medalist. I'm a 10-time regional champion. I'm the youngest ever 2-time senior elite champion. I was undefeated as a senior. I was on the England squad for 5 years prior to being on the GB squad. So, to be fair, I've been riding at the top level for pretty much my whole boxing career. So I've
Mhm.
done well. Pretty good. Done well.
Very good. What was there any reason you didn't hang around for the 2024 Olympics?
It was a possibility. I mean, I could have done it, but I just when you get the whispers of the pro boxing, and anyone will tell you my style has always been suited for that pro boxing. And the day I turned 18, I was like, Dad, I think it's time to turn pro, and he's like, No, not yet. But it was always in the works, in the making. And then when started talking to our man Sam Jones, it was a no brainer. It was a no
Mhm.
brainer. The time was no.
Yeah, and you touched there on the style. Those of us who've seen the clips, Uh, classic low hands, loads of shimmies, movements, angles, all of that, reminiscent of a couple of the greats that I grew up watching, most notably Naseem Hamed and Roy Jones Jr. Is it fair to say they're the sort of guys that influenced your style a bit?
100%, 100%. To be fair, I'll be dead honest with you. Before, like when I was only like 7, 8, 9 years old, I'd get people coming to me and saying, "You boxing like Prince Naseem," and I hadn't got a clue what they were talking about. Honestly, I didn't have a clue what they were talking about. But I always had that kind of that style. I always wanted to be a bit different. To be fair, it was just me making a mockery of the people that I was facing, which sounds pretty disrespectful, but it came natural to me. And when I started watching Prince Naseem, Roy Jones Jr., fighters like that, with that kind of drunken master, that kind of flashy kind of style, it resonated with me a lot. So then I just kept on learning, kept on building it, because obviously it is quite a risky style. So if you are going to do it, you got to do it properly, because the risks are always there. So I'm not perfected it. I'm nowhere near perfected it, but I've been working on my craft, and I've been working on it a lot, and it's done me good. It's done me nice.
Well, yeah, those achievements so far can't go wrong. Have you ever met Naseem Hamed and discussed things yet?
I haven't, not to, but I haven't. That's one of the things on my bucket list to meet him, because he's one of the people that I've grown up watching my whole life. I still have Naz on the YouTube all day on the TV, watching him before I spar, before I go to training. But I'd love to honestly. That'd be a dream. His boys are doing well. Even to meet his boys, I'd love to meet his boys as well, because they've got the royal blood in them.
I'm sure Naz would be helpful, and anyone who knows the history of Bengal knows Yemen and Bengal have a very long and close relationship going back centuries. So yeah, it's great if he can give you some insight there. Just something else you touched on. You mentioned Sam Jones, that you were messaging him as a kid that he's going to sign you. I mean, that's unusual. Usually fighters, I mean, as a kid, they don't really look at managers. They're looking at future fighters or trainers, that sort of thing. What made you want to, from such a young age, be managed by Sam Jones?
I have no idea. Like, looking back at it, I have no idea. But just like his charisma and the way he went about things, he was just someone that I wanted to be like associated with for some reason or another. But I just liked the way he came across on social media and what he used to be posting on stuff. And even now, since I could say him, I could watch him interviews. I could watch the whole interview. I just like him as a character, as a person, and he's getting to meet him and whatnot. He's genuinely a lovely guy. Where he talks a lot, but I can't stop listening, because he talks a lot of sense. And so I don't know. I was like 13, 14. I don't know what prompted me to say it, but I did tell him, I'm going to be your best signing one day. And I don't remember what he said. He must have laughed and brushed me off, like. But as you know, I got on and I started winning titles, and it became more of a serious thing. And now here we are, 20 years old, and we're here now.
No doubt, Sam is a fantastic speaker. Yeah, so you're in good hands. How did the actual meeting with him come about to sign you up as one of his fighters?
To be honest with you, me and Sam exchanged messages a few times on social media and whatnot, but it was never anything like too serious talks wise. Sam had always expressed an interest in me, but of course, with me being on Team GB, it didn't really like make sense for him to say, "Okay, come on, turn over." But as the interest grew, and man, you know very well, Mr. Asgar, we were talking with Asgar on a show, and Asgar was saying, "You know what? It's real. Sam really does want to sign you. He believes in your talent, and he believes in what you can do in this sport." So he says, "Okay, I was gonna tell Mr. Sam Jones that we'd love to have a meeting with him, and we'd love to have a chat." And from then on, we had a couple of meetings. I loved even more what he was doing, if I didn't love it already. And it was just, from that point, it was just a no-brainer. I'd had other managers come in and saying they want to manage me and whatnot. But after talking with Sam Jones the first time, it was never going to be anyone else. It had to be Sam Jones, for sure.
Yeah, and shout out to Coach Askey. He's helped many a youngster's career launch in the right direction. So big up.
He's the man, especially in amateur boxing. He's everywhere, man. He's a guy with a lot of passion. And he's don't stop, man. He's always there. He's always at the shows. I always see him. I love seeing him. Head full of knowledge, but he's humble. He's a lovely guy, man. Like my uncle.
Yeah, and many a fighter does call him Uncle Askey. Yeah, and what's your training situation? Who's your coach going to be?
My father will be my main coach. My father's been my coach since, of course, the start. So it was a no-brainer for him to go, for me to go with him in the pros. Because if it's not broke, why fix it? We've been winning all these titles, doing all this stuff through what he's taught me and what he's done with me. And a coach is not just someone who is who looks the flashes on the pads or is the best talker. It's just someone who you share the best relationship with and the best link with. And you can't be any closer with anyone than your father. So my father's going to be my main coach. I'm training out of the RG BoxFit gym. Richie Gent will be helping out as well. He'll be training me alongside my father. We've got a gym full of good talent. We've got Connor Walker, Danny Ball, who they've got a few of the lads as well, but them two you will have definitely seen on TV, on the zone shows and whatnot. Connor Walker's got a big fight coming up himself, headlining against Cyrus Pattinson soon. So as a gym, we're doing well. I wanted to go to a gym where I've got people who have dreams and aspirations of their own, so I can be in that environment. Because as much as I love training in the amateur gym, it's a bit hard to train with people who have not got the same kind of ambitions as you. The little kids, I love helping out the little kids, but training with them is quite different. So I want to be with people who share or at least have similar ambitions to what I have. So it just creates a better training environment. So yeah, I'm training out of that gym with my father and Rishi, and I've got strength conditioning coach Johnny. He's an absolute legend as well. So the training team is complete. Training's going really well already. Not in camp or whatnot, but we've been getting to know each other. We're building that strong link already. So yeah, man, I'm ready now. I'm ready.
Have you got any sort of a date lined up for your pro debut?
There's been a few dates flying around, but nothing properly locked in yet. But I've said it like as soon as possible, man. I'm ready. I'm a fighter. I just like to fight. Simple as I don't like waiting around. And being an amateur, I'm used to fighting every week anyway. So whenever the date does come, I'm ready. I'd love to be on an international show as well. But the rules are you'd have to make your debut in the UK. So I'll have to hold fire on that one. But whenever the date arises, I'm ready.
Right, well, yeah, well, I'm sure we can't wait for that. Just want to go back to what you were saying about like the style. I get the impression you eat, drink, breathe boxing, know everything about the sport. You mentioned your style, the low hand style, risky. What Naz Hamed and Roy Jones had to make it work for them was that insane concussive power. That serves as a deterrent. They also had preternatural reflexes. However, that style, when the reflexes eventually did start to fade, we saw Naz eventually get outboxed by the great Barrera. And of course, Jones, when his reflexes failed him, his career collapsed dramatically, because at light heavyweight, especially much bigger men, once they could find that chin, it was disastrous for him. So just wonder, have you got plan B, plan C, plan D for?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But one day you will get older.
The thing is, having your dad as a trainer, which means he has that emotional connection with you as well. So just every shot I take, it pains him just as much as it would pain me to take that shot. So he's obviously built a load of different styles in me. Like, although my main style is to keep my hands low, and move out my reflexes. Make no mistake, if I have to keep my hands up and go to war and block and counter, I can do that very well. If anything, I'll do it sometimes a bit too much. Like, I'll be on my reflexes, and someone will say something to me, and I'll just get my hands up and block and counter. I do have a lot of different styles in me. I've even got the typical English style, which I really don't like, if I'm honest. But I've got a lot of different styles. That's what you need at the top level. You can't have one style, because with the analysts and with the boxers that you'll be facing at that top level, they'll read you like a book if you have only one style. So up to God, I've got the IQ that's needed to be able to adapt at any given point and doing different styles, whether that's hands up, hands low, whether that's moving my feet or holding them. So God knows how many styles I've got. I've got plenty of them. Just because I've got that low style doesn't mean it's my only style. So yeah, there's always got to be a backup plan. It's not 3 rounds, it's 12 rounds. Everything's going to chop and change. I've watched boxing my whole life, so I know exactly although I've not experienced it myself, I know what can happen in a fight. And I know, of course, the low hands, the risk, of course, is getting caught with the big one. And I've learned that for sure, but never been dropped, never been hurt, never even had a nosebleed, never seen blood. I think it's in my genes, it's in my blood. My dad was known to be an absolutely tough, I can't say, a very tough man. And I've got that from him too. And he's taught me when I've got my hands low, he's absolutely smacked me with some nice backhands, and so he's trained me well. So every part of that aspect is covered. So whatever it takes, man, whatever it takes, whether that be hands low, hands up, whatever it takes. That's why we know we're ready for the top level. If we weren't ready, we would have stayed amateur. But we know the time is right now because we can go nice and quick because we know we're ready for it.
That's fabulous. And I know when you were speaking to Sherry, you were saying some of your favorite fighters are, as you said, the guys with the really high ring IQ, someone like Terence Crawford. I've asked a few coaches about this, and I've got different views. In terms of yourself, do you think is IQ something you can develop? I mean, I always presumed the fighters who have the very fast reflexes, they are instinctive. In the moment, they just instinctively know what to do. Whereas someone like Terence Crawford, his brain is processing what the opponent's doing, and they can assess constantly what the right moves are, given what the opponent's doing. Again, can you do both from the mental side?
Absolutely. IQ is just a tool, just like anything else, like your speed, your reflexes, your power. IQ is a tool. There will be times where IQ is not necessary. You gotta get in there, and he's jabbing you. You see that, boom, the third one, you slip it and you put a backhand on him. It's one of them things. You use different tools at different times. You can use your hammer and your screwdriver for different things. So yeah, my IQ is something that I use when I need to. I do box out of my brain. I've got a big brain. I'll be honest with you. I was a nerd throughout my whole school life. I love using my brain. I could have been a doctor if anything with some of the results I got in my studying days. So I do like using my brain, but at the same time, I'm blessed with a lot of good things, power, speed. So if I don't need to use my IQ, and if the opportunity is there to, really stick it on someone, I wouldn't be stupid enough to try and take my time on outboxing. Similar to Terence Crawford, you won't see Terence Crawford, going out and trying to absolutely kill someone. But if he sees the opportunity, make no mistake about it. You see with Errol Spence, he took him out pretty brutally, contrary to what a high IQ boxer would. But as and when it's needed, with everything in boxing.
Absolutely, hit the nail on the head. Another thing I wanted to ask you about what you spoke to Sherry about. You're going to operate at flyweight. Just wonder what you think about the size factor. I asked Sonny Edwards about this. As a high IQ fighter, he said he didn't think it mattered. Don't know if you saw his fight with Bam Rodriguez. Obviously, he got hurt early on, possibly with eye damage. And it seems like size did matter in the sense that some of these Latino fighters and Southeast Asian fighters, Filipinos, Thais, they do some insane weight making compared to, say, here in Britain, because obviously we've got more health and safety measures in place. Is that a concern? I mean, if you find like some of these Mexicans, they're sort of outweighing you by 20 pounds fight night, would you think maybe it'd be better to just take a few pounds off extra, go down to light flyweight?
Nah, to be honest, height terms, I'm really big for flyweight, and I'm not a skinny lad either. I'm actually pretty decent. You've not seen me in real life, but I'm 5'7", so I'm 1 inch off Canelo, who operates at light heavy. So I'm not small by any means. Some of the competitors at flyweight that I've seen, they all come to about down here. Okay. So I mean, to be honest with you, I could actually make light fly. Genuinely being honest with you, even being this big, but I think flyweight is perfect for me. I feel the fastest, strongest. Whoever I fought at flyweight, like I said, I'm undefeated as a senior. So they've not cracked the code. If any little Mexican wants to try it, they can come and try it. But size, they do say it does matter. Size doesn't matter. It's obviously it's a different ball game. Fight someone taller, fight someone shorter, fight someone stronger, fight someone weaker. But if you have the IQ and if you have the physical advantages in other aspects to overcome it, then you just gonna have to pull them out the locker. It's gonna be a different fight, fighting someone taller and fighting someone a little Mexican coming at me. But I've got all the tools in the bag to deal with it. So size doesn't faze me. Doesn't faze me because I'm this big. That's why. So if anything, they should be scared of my size.
Yes, indeed. 5'7". Okay, so yeah, that is tall for a flyweight. So you're probably a similar size to Bam Rodriguez anyway. I love the flyweight division. It's one of the traditional divisions of boxing. But because of your height and you're so young, I guess in the back of your mind, you're thinking multi-weight champion down the line.
Absolutely. There's a certain Naoya Inoue doing something of the sort. I'm planning to do the exact same. Planning to do the exact same. I want to fly through the weights. I've got big dreams, big aspirations. Some call me delusional, some call me arrogant, but I genuinely believe multi-weight world champion is the minimum. I need to be doing that. It's not like a dream. It's what I should be doing with the talent, with the backing that I have. I've got no excuse not to.
Absolutely, and of course, Sam's got you on board with Matchroom, who obviously operating worldwide and have put that massive flyweight fight on. I wonder, has any sparring with some top level guys has that been arranged yet, or have you experienced it already?
No, to be honest, we're gonna start really sparring like proper now. We're gonna start getting that done. We have some amazing sparring at GB. At Team GB, my favorite aspect of being at Team GB was the sparring. We sparred some top guys internationally from all over, God knows where, and that shaped me to the fighter that I am today. Sparring is the most important thing. It's the closest thing you'll get to a fight. So experiencing them different type of styles is what I need. I want to go international, go to a few different countries. America would be amazing. I would love to go to different countries and experience some different styles. Because sparring England's great, but there is that quite typical English style. I do want to experience some different styles because I know I'm going to be moved really fast. I'm not going to be able to have those 20 odd learning fights that you see that the average Joe has. So because I'm going to be moved quick, I've got to learn really quick as well. So getting that sparring is important for me. And to be honest with me, I don't like whatever my team say, whatever my team get. If they get me this guy, I said okay. Sparring tomorrow, cool. Sparring in 2 hours time, cool. So whatever they get from me, I'm ready. Same with fights. Whoever they get, I'm ready.
Hey, sparring sessions in America, that could be an eye-opener. Your namesake, Hamza Shiraz, I don't know if you've heard that. He's relocated to California, and he said, first day in the gym, yep, all these Puerto Ricans and Mexicans are licking their lips thinking, we're going to teach this British guy something. So yeah, just that. But he said that sort of hyper, sort of aggressive gym culture, it upped his level because you can't make a mistake there when you're sparring because they'll eat you alive. So
the proof's in the pudding. Look at what he's doing now, isn't it? He's doing some big things, man. The proof's in the pudding. Like I said, the train that he's doing, it's different. Not that Americans are any better than us, but when you're in that different environment, it pushes different buttons and it brings different things out of you. So that's something I'd love to experience, definitely.
Absolutely. You said you're going to move fast. So do you have in mind already, like, say, how many 4-rounders or 6-rounders you think you need before you sort of go into the higher round?
Straight into a 6 on first fight. Straight into a 6. No force for me. We're not missing about. Not playing no games. Don't need to waste my time in a 4-rounder. Get straight into a 6-rounder, get the experience. And to be honest, it might be done pretty early anyway. So I probably won't go the full 6. But if it does, we need that type of experience now. We need it now as soon as possible. And whatever my team say, if we want to go into 8, 10, 12 rounds, I'm ready. Just got to train a bit harder, spar a few more rounds. Simple as that. Whatever my team say, however quick they want to move me, I'm game for it. Genuinely, I'm game for it.
Easy as that when you got the talent.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm talking a bit too much now, aren't I? Yeah, I'm lucky, man. I'm blessed.
As I keep saying, especially down at the lighter weights, sometimes you guys got to talk more. Look at Sonny. So, you know, what do you make of the flyweight scene here in the UK? There's some good fighters. Sonny, of course. You know, there's guys like Marcel Braithwaite, Kademi, Jay Harris. I know a lot of these guys, they fluctuate between fly and super fly simply because there aren't enough competitors in this country. You got your eye on any, or is it too early to think about that?
I mean, like I said before, running anyone and everyone, to be honest. Wherever my team put me in, I'm ready to move them out my way. There are some good names, to be fair. There are some good names. It is a decent weight division, but it's always going to be the case with our kind of weight. you've got to be quite special to get eyes on you. Now, there's a lot of good kids in this country, but there's not many eyes on them. And you've got to have something different about you. You've got to be a bit special almost. And I think I bring that in the terms of not just my style being flashy, but having the power to hurt people. Because you normally associate hurting people with the heavyweights, the heavier weights, the heavies, cruisers, light heavies, etc., middles. But when you see a flyweight hurting a little flyweight, two little men, and one's getting dropped on his back, that's when you start opening your eyes, like a certain Prince NASEEM. That's maybe what opened people's eyes. There's this little, tiny little man, and he's knocking people out. And I think that's the thing. And I think that's probably why there's not many eyes on our division, because obviously it's science to be little men. It's not normal for us to be knocking people out. But I think because I bring that power, I think that's why I think eyeballs will be on me more so than some of my competitors. No disrespect for them, because there's some great fighters in the way. But that's just my opinion. That's what I think.
Yes, indeed. Talking of eyeballs, I mean, boxing never really caught on in South Asia, certainly not Bangladesh. But I don't know if has anyone told Eddie that Bangladeshis are a market of 400 million people, so don't have many sports.
You'd be surprised, but that's been in the works. You know, Mr. Sam Jones. He does not miss a detail, does he? He does not miss a single detail. So he's been talking about it. We know a lot of people who run the Bangladesh scene. A man named Sal from London. He's up there. He's got his own promotion there. I don't really want to get too involved in them kind of talks, because that's a bit later on. But yeah, there's a massive market to be tapped into that's not been tapped into at all. Saying that as well, I want to be an inspiration for some of those who would have wanted to be boxers, but have not got the opportunities. So if I can really push boxing into that sort of area, I think that there are some talented fighters. I've seen some videos on YouTube, Facebook, and whatnot. There are some good fighters, man, and it's in our blood, it's in our genes. There's some really strong, really athletic individuals there, but they're just not getting that backing, and they don't have, the people watching. They just need someone to almost feed off and say, he done it, so I can do it. So that's definitely in the plans. Still got a lot to do down here before I start thinking over there. So all in good time. But the talks have been there already. Yeah, so.
Wow, that is going to be some adventure to follow. Like I said, been waiting for you for 30 years. Yeah, I tried boxing myself. I sucked, but hey, I can still be a fan and follow your great journey. All right, Hamza,
100%.
it's been an absolute pleasure, of course. Yeah, is there anything you want to add?
No, just thank you very much for the opportunity. I've seen a lot of your interviews. I do like them. Anyone watching this, follow my boy up, follow me up, follow both of us. We're both, going on our own journeys to the top of the sport. One through media, one getting in the ring and doing it. So yeah, man, just like, comment, whatever, do your thing, get this up, and yeah, man. Hopefully you get another interview soon, man. After the debut, maybe.
I concur with
I'll probably be a bit harder to get hold
of. Maybe, but I will definitely try and catch up with you again, and hopefully maybe come up to the Midlands sometime. So, Hamza, thanks for your time, and yeah, we'll do this again soon.